They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flow, chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yeah, what up, man? Top of the AM, man. Anyways, I was out here for a while, man, but you know, this park a lot of times at night got a lot of tweakers. So when the morning come, you know, when the dudes start cleaning the park, these cats start scurrying up out of here. So I didn't want to catch no unsavory shit in the video as far as like activities, you know what I mean? So I chose to wait. Now, you can tell by the title of the video exactly where I'm gonna go. I like to say that a lot because it's a lot easier than me just really breaking down all the description. And I'm gonna try to keep my thoughts as focused as I can, but I may spiral off in different directions in order to try to further explain exactly why I'm saying the things I'm saying. Now, before I even get into that, man, shout out to SD, man. Shout out to all the homies from IE. Shout out to all the 805. Shout out to OC. Shout out to South Central, Watts, West LA, La Valle, of course. Shout out to SGV, man. Shout out to SD. Anyways, man, anybody that I miss, Spencer, you know I used to come on here and give it up to individual hoods, but it's been a while. I'm probably gonna get back to that because, you know, it, in a lot of sense, a lot of you cats is the one that made me who I am as far as like with this YouTube thing. It's just been solid from the gate. Like, there's some of you I know that have been on my channel for a long time and have always supported, not only financially, but just really there for my videos. But basically what I wanted to say, man, it's like what a lot of people been wanting me to say for a long time, but I'm not gonna give it to them in that way. Like, people have wanted me to get on here and just speak harshly against gangbanging and everything that it brings, but like, I try to give it to you the way I choose to give it to you. I'm not one to really speak against gangs, but I would tell you basically what this life entailed as far as like when you really get deep into the trenches and really start being full-fledged with it. Because to be honest, not everybody on the street that was out there with their hood was actually banging. You had a lot of dudes that their whole sole purpose was to kick it in their hood, just be a face. So people say, oh yeah, there's fools in the hood, but as far as like really with the activities and really actually participating in, you know, the ongoings of real gangbanging, they chose to not partake in it. And for the most part, most of their homies knew that they really weren't with that type of smoke, so they didn't even bring it to them. Every once in a while, you'll have, you know, that type of homie that try to get fools to go out and do certain things because they wanted them to prove themselves, but in the end they knew that that really wasn't them. So you know, just to be brutally honest, in order not to, you know, end up turning on your homeboy because he breaks, they just let him be who he is and post up in the hood, you know what I mean? As long as he wasn't no lame and he actually participated as far as you get disrespected and you handle your business, take your beat down or whatever, you know, they were fine with that. But that's why I say all this to say this. The way the game is now is so watered down. You had to do whack 100, and then you had other cats talking about that this dude 6'9" is a civilian, which makes absolutely no sense. Now, you don't get me wrong, you got dudes that are protected by gangs when they come to certain places, but they don't involve themselves in the business. They don't involve themselves in the day-to-day ongoings of that gang. It's just, hey, I just need a little protection. I know that you guys are not only feared in this area, but you're a major factor. Like a lot of people that come to the West Coast, there's hoods out here that fools know for a fact, like if you know, you gonna be good, like to the best of their ability. Like there ain't nobody just run up on you and do what they want, because you got dudes out here that are factors, you know what I mean, in major hoods that are factors. Now, but they don't, the guys that are asking for that type of protection don't participate. They may smoke weed and all that, but as far as like going out committing crimes, and nah, they don't do that, because that's not a part of, it may be a piece of their persona as far as like an image, but they're not actually gangbanging, so they avoid it. Now you had to do 6ix9ine. He was actually out there participating in a lot of shit. He was not only a troll, he was out there putting it out that he was really about that business, and he did things that warranted death, but death didn't come to him. Instead, he folded on this whole group. And why did he fold on this whole group? Because they were smashing his baby's mom. To me, that's a coward. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if I feel some type of way about you being my homie and you smash my chick, either I'm gonna try to kill you, you know what I mean, which is harsh because it's, you know, you guys are homies, but it is what it is. It's like you broke the cardinal rule. You don't shit in my backyard. Same with your chick. You don't shit in my backyard. But every once in a while that shit happened. But in this case, it happened with him. But he was supposed to be a thug. Now, if you're a hardcore gangster, instead of turning around and killing your chick, you go ahead in your business. But he chose not to do that. He got heartbroken. Then he got weak. He didn't want to kick and they start getting him. He snitched. But you see the whole LAX thing, he fighting. Then he had other crimes that he was supposedly involved in. But when he got busted, he didn't only snitch on his crew. He was snitching on cats that had nothing to do. I think he even tried to bring up chicks like Cardi B and all that, like weakness. But that's what happens. A lot of these dudes will co-sign motherfuckers that they know ain't about the business. I see it right now. People are like, oh, it's just a blood and crip thing. But I've seen it amongst Southerners as well. There's dudes that just should not be homies, but fools choose to co-sign them because there's some sort of money involved, and these fools are rubbing shoulders with different people that might actually be reputables, you know what I mean? And that's why I say this whole game is twisted, and that at the end of the day, it's really not worth it. Now, people expect people that are old heads to get on here and be like, oh, you shouldn't gangbanging is wrong. I'm not going to tell you that, because in a lot of ways, gangbanging made me the person I am. I was already about my business because that's how my pops and my mom brought me up to be. Always stand on what you say, you know what I mean? And to this day, that's what I do. Prime example, when I went to prison. Before that, before I even start hitting the county jail, I had a choice. Sorry, allergies. I could have went a different way as far as like just let it go, so I wouldn't have to go to county and prison and suffer the same turmoils with dealing with racist homies or homies that, you know what I mean, or, you know, always warring with these fools, or, you know, getting at it with other blacks. Or I could have avoided all that, but I chose to stick it out because that's it was no half step with me. It was really about my hood and what they represented, which was that double S. So I followed suit. And I wasn't gonna give it up. I had already been in this shit too long to be wanna throw it all away. I said, man, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. But that's because that's the way I was brought up. Now you got these new age gangsters and that are getting taught wrong, and it ain't even, you know, they're like, oh, this generation is fucked up. No, but it's the old heads teaching them wrong. The whole prime example, Whack 100, with that doing interviews with the PC and the snitch, and them dudes are both supposed to be Damus. He snitched on the Damu food, like, oh, but you're from the East Coast, or you're from, you see what I'm saying? It's like the lines get blurred. Then you had that other dude, Lil Tim, supposedly taking money from 6ix9ine to do music, and it's supposed he's not doing music, and then you hear another cat saying it's okay for him to take this dude's money and be in the same room with him because he's jugging this for, or he's coming up off the food. You see what I'm saying? When money comes into play, it's a lot of blurriness of the lines. You got homies right now that interact with PCs as if it's all good. You got other homies going up north shaking hands with dropout northerners, dropout NFs, dropout, you know what I'm saying? And like it's all good, and then come back down south and had a nerve to start a YouTube channel and talk about they're all good and they're solid. You had some lame ass fool that's supposed to be my enemy. This fool talking about, you know, he lived in my neighbor, he did such and such, but then it's the same fool I see shaking hands with fucking dropout NFs, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, it goes to show you. Then you see the same fool on social media crying because the other homie dropped it from the channel and he felt like he had built it. You see what I'm saying? These fools, palabra, that fool knows who I'm talking about. I knocked this fool out, like straight out. I'll knock this fool out straight out. He ain't even in the same league when it comes to with these right here. But you know, that can be proven. Not on no celebrity boxing. Just get out here and get busy because it's fuck his hood. You know what I mean? Just like that. But that's why I'm saying this whole gang shit is plastic. It ain't worth it no more. all you're gonna do is end up an old ass man mad at motherfuckers that are not keeping it 100. I find myself sometimes embittered by the fact that I see these dudes that at one time, I won't say I looked up to, but I really like focus on it. Was like, yeah, these fools are solid, and then they turn around and do weird ass shit. That's why I say this shit ain't worth it, man. It's like a lot of times the same dudes that you may secretly worship or really hold in high esteem are the ones that's gonna let you down the most. I have a lot of fools that I was like, I kind of looked up to them fools because they were really about their business, and then as years go on, you start noticing, oh, this fool told over there, he did this and he did this, now this fool is no good, and you find out later like, oh yeah, this fool, the whole time this fool been a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of party. So now it's like even fools I talk to, it's so hard to be cool with a motherfucker, because I'm constantly trying to vet them fools to see if they are who they say they are, because there's a lot of cats that try to slip through my shit and act like they're somebody, and they be no good. But trying to get next to me is funny, because I'll find out, and it's like you put your own self in harm's way in order to do whatever they do. You know what I mean? That was the whole thing with the whole 2-5 shit. A lot of them fools back in the days when they were on the main line, they used to try to blend in, and when they thought they were gonna find out, they was skirt. That was their whole get down. But yeah, that's why I say gangbang is not really worth it, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like a lot of the fools that you think are solid are gonna fold. A lot of dudes that you think that stick to the code are the ones behind doors exchanging money with lames, conversing with PCs, and be the one that's quickest to talk behind your back. It'd be, you know, you hear like a lot of the Chicago shit, like the backdoor, and they do backdooring out here. The only thing is like it's you don't expect it. You know what I mean? You don't expect to run into a homie and then you know the fool that he's hanging with is no good. And I've seen homies that have ran into dudes just like that, and these dudes are supposedly solid. It's a lot of funny shit, man. At first, when fools used to be like, oh, it's a blood and crib thing, and they've been known for this. Yeah, in prison, there was a lot of fools that didn't want to handle their homies because that was their homies, so a lot of shit would kick off over that. But now it's like it's so prevalent amongst the double S that it's like shit. Like you don't even know who to mess with, because you don't know what this fool is up to, who he's talking to. A lot of fools now get butthurt over social media. I got dudes right now on social media, rappers and so-called this and so-called that's all they do is sit on social media and talk about the next man, because to be honest, they have not made it to where they need to be. And a lot of it ain't even due to lack of skills. It's just their message is not conveyed right, or they're just not believable, or they're not as talented as they think they are. Like me, when I do this whole rap thing, it's mostly a hobby, because I'm too old to really do anything else. Like, I mean, as far as like, you know, who knows if one of the songs will pop, but I don't focus on it. I just get in and I do the type of music that I like, because it's the type of music I like. But like I said, man, a lot of you're gonna find out as time goes on. A lot of these dudes that you sit back and be like, that fool solid, I see it all through social media, you're gonna find out that these dudes mess with people that are you finding out these dudes are pedophiles and all types of weird shit. Are they I'm the type like this: if you're my family member and you're a snitch, I can't fuck with you. You can't be around me. If you got some type of sex shit on your jacket, you cannot be around me. If you do anything weird, you get to talking to the cops, you cannot be around me. I don't fucking play like that. Like, stay away from me, straight out. If you see me, avoid me, because I will hurt you. But that's how I've been taught. You know what I mean? It's like, this ain't that, you know, shield shit like family secrets. Nah, if you got any dirt on you, you get smashed. It's just whatever. It's just like that. And that's not to say like, oh, I'm the hardest person, I'm upholding the prison code. No, that's just on the street. It's the same way. Snitches are no good. I don't go out of my way to go search and destroy cats. I do my thing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I do my thing and I try to avoid cats. But you know what I mean? I'm not going to nobody's city to, you know, none of that. You know what I mean? I'm too old for that shit. But Think about it, man. For the people that want to gangbang, man, think about it. It ain't the same, and it ain't never gonna be the same. And the way the generation is now, they're being taught by and led by fools that are basically leading these fools astray. They leading them to slaughter. And the same codes that they're pushing, they're not upholding themselves. And that's a prime example. Just do me this. Just go and sit on social media for like a couple of days and just listen to certain fools, watch their so-called teachings, and you'll see what it's really about. On that note, your boy Zod. And yeah, before you even think about banging and shit, just think about it, because that shit is plastic now. Get a job, man. Take care of your family, man, and just, you know, stunt. Fuck it.
Kneel before Zod!